Hi guys. Before we start video, please hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. In the previous part, Ryu decided not to kill the Black Flame Dragon and said, "I'll spare you. A promise is a promise." The Black Flame Dragon was happy and said, "Thank you. Thank you so much." Ryu said, "Now live a decent life. Whether you dispose of their bodies or not, it's up to you." The Black Flame Dragon replied, "Okay." But Ryu decided, "Take care of the woman." Black Flame Dragon wanted to offer assistance but was met with a dismissive gesture, and Ryu said to him, "Forget it. How can I trust someone like you? Just go away." The Black Flame Dragon said, "Yes, I understand." Then he felt a wave of relief washing over him and said to himself, "Phew, I'm alive. I thought I was done for." But he actually spared me. He also said Black Scythe had turned out to be more human than I expected, as he had anticipated losing all his equipment, but that wasn't the case because Ryu only took a few unidentified stones and some equipment purchased from the shop. The Black Dragon kept saying to himself, "Thank goodness, it ended like this. Sacrificing a few items for my life, it's definitely worth it." Then he let out another sigh of relief, grateful for his luck. But suddenly he felt some emptiness, and the emptiness turned into a simmering frustration. Even a tinge of anger started to well up inside him, and he said to himself, "Did I really deserve this? Did I lose all my items just because I watched while they wanted to kill that woman? It felt unfair." Then he looked at Ryu and said to himself, "He looks completely weak from behind. Even if he's the powerful Black Scythe, wouldn't he die if I struck him with an axe from behind?" And here he held the axe in his hand and said to himself, "What should I do? This could be my chance. Should I take the risk and ambush the defenseless Black Scythe, or should I play it safe and turn back?" And his decision didn't take long to make. He tightened his grip on the axe, feeling the surge of strength, telling himself, "If I manage to kill a high-level player like the Black Scythe, imagine how much my stats would increase." Then he carefully stepped closer behind Ryu, while he was saying to himself, "Don't notice me. Please, just don't notice me." In an instant, he raised the axe and shouted, "Die, you son of a bitch!" With a mighty swing, he brought down the axe, and Ryu fell to the ground and said, "I actually killed the Black Scythe? Just like that?" Then he erupted into maniacal laughter, intoxicated by the exhilarating thrill, saying, "Is this for real? The Black Scythe, a mere level 10, killed you? You fell for me? You fool. Why would you turn your back on someone like me? Even a fool wouldn't make such a stupid mistake." But suddenly he felt worried and said, "Why haven't I received a message indicating an increase in stats?" Normally, when he kills someone, the message would appear instantaneously. He didn't know what had happened. But suddenly he heard someone's voice, and when he turned his head, he got shocked and his eyes widened and his mouth gaped open. It turned out to be Ryu. Then Ryu said with smile, "Why so surprised? Did you see a ghost?" Shim Hyung could only stutter, rendered speechless, and shouted, "Wait, what? I was certain that I had killed you." And he said to himself, did Black Scythe possess some mystical power of resurrection, or was he dealing with a spectral being? Then a gaze of the Black Flame Dragon darted to where Black Scythe's corpse should be. The corpse had mysteriously vanished. Not a single trace of blood remained, as though that bloody scene was nothing more than a fleeting dream. Ryu said to him, "What you killed was merely my clone." The Black Flame Dragon said in amazement, "A clone?" Ryu said, "Yes. The ability of the Doppelganger rune allows for the creation of a clone identical to oneself, although it lacks any form of combat prowess." He also said, "It seems that even without the ability to fight, the clone has proven to be surprisingly effective. That was a valuable test." The Black Flame Dragon said in frustration, You deceived me." Ryu Min became angry, seeing the Black Flame Dragon gnash its teeth in visible frustration, and said, "Why the sudden victim act? The real victim here is me. My head was almost smashed to bits, you know?" The Black Flame Dragon said angrily, "You're the victim. Aren't you the one who threatened me first and took all my—" But suddenly, the Black Flame Dragon's head began to roll aimlessly across the ground, and he couldn't complete his sentence. After that, Ryu said, "Hearing such nonsense is a waste of time. Then Ryu Min carefully read the information about the newly acquired rune once more. Doppelganger rune effect. The activation word, create clone, gives birth to a clone identical to the user. During this process, the caster morphs into a ghost-like form for 10 seconds, a period used to conceal their physical body. The birthed clone shares a psychic link with the caster and is subject to their control. However, it can only perform non-combative actions and is incapable of utilizing skills or accessing the inventory. Only a single clone can be created at a time, with a cooldown period of 10 minutes. Although devoid of direct fighting abilities, the rune could perfectly deceive the enemy, and its short cooldown is an additional benefit. This was undoubtedly a Roosevelt rune of the highest order, the absolute optimum tool for deception. After that, Ryu Min, satisfied, unleashed the trace eraser skill across the vicinity. In the blink of an eye, all traces of the violent scene, from the 3 lifeless bodies to the remnants of the bloodshed, had vanished without a trace. To an unsuspecting passerby, it would be virtually impossible to conceive of the site as a former battleground. But it was there the lone survivor and unintentional witness. It's that woman they wanted to kill. Then Ryu asked her, "Can I have your attention?" But there was no response from her. Ryu sighed and said, "Quit your acting." The woman stuttered and said, "How did you know I was faking unconsciousness?" He said, "Attempting to deceive a player is unwise." Then she apologized, and Ryu said to her, "Do you comprehend the danger you were in?" She nodded, her fear resonating in her reply. "Yes, it was terrifying, to the point where I dared not open my eyes." Then he asked her, "When did you regain consciousness?" She answered, "Since they began talking about offering me." She didn't finish what she said, but Ryu concluded that she must have come to her senses just as the interviewer and the fake Black Scythe were about to ravish her. Then he said to her, "You may be aware, but all those men are no more. You can rest easy." She said in astonishment. You did that?" Ryu said. "Yes. You've heard some noises and must have figured out a part of it, right?" he asked. They were silenced so quickly their screams were not heard, but she must have realized that. After that, she said, "Am I safe now? Everything is over, right?" In response to her trembling voice, Ryu Min soothingly reassured her, saying, "Yes, you can now go home in peace. It will be hard, but forget everything that happened today and don't make things worse by reporting to the police needlessly. There's a risk of retaliation," she said happily. Thank you. Thank you so much for your help." After that, Ryu returned home and began preparing for the 5th round and opened the system window. Part ends here, so please like and subscribe and write in comments. What do you think will happen in next part?